Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video here to talk about the latest of Toonami, because it's only Toonami on Adult Swim. Anyways, so let's talk about this. So there's been it's been a very good year, I think, overall here in the beginning parts of 2019 for Toonami at least. There's a lot of things coming. They had the deal with Crunchyroll finalized a couple of months ago that we found out about, and we'll see where that goes. There's going to be a new Toonami event coming up later this year, which we didn't have one last year. So that should be good. Just finally get to see it because we didn't see one in 2018. But there's a lot of good things coming up, and not just for Toonami, just for Adult Swim as a whole, because there's a lot of changing in media that's happening, and I think with a lot of changing in media, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to change with Toonami that possibly could benefit it or not. I think it will, though, and we're going to get into that also. So the special full-length video on all the latest news and whatnot that we are doing. First and foremost, we are going to talk about the news that came out a couple of weeks ago, which was that the Attack on Titan, sorry about that, the Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 will be premiering May 25th. We learned this a couple of weeks ago. At this time, we do not know the time of when Attack on Titans will be, like, in terms of what time it's going to be at on Toonami in a couple of weeks. But we know a date. It's going to be May 25th. So end of the month of next month, we will be getting some new Attack on Titans. I theorized it was going to be around middle to the end of May, because of the way how the dub gets put out pretty quickly. Within a few weeks of the sub version. So I had a feeling it was going to come out within that time period of when they started showing the Japanese version, which was around, right now I believe they're starting it up. So I think this will be very good. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm theorizing it's going to be around a new time. Like, we're going to get the changing of times again. Toonami's going to go back to having more time, because as we know, they used to start at 10 at one point, and then they scratched that at the beginning of this year. I think we're going to be going back to that. I honestly don't know why they just don't stay with that and just put out more programming. I don't understand why they do this stuff, but this is what they do. Hopefully we'll be getting rid of that in the future. But Attack on Titan is coming, and we will see the rest of Season 3 this year, so that will be good. Hopefully we'll get some more Attack on Titans. I'm really hoping that they start putting out Attack on Titans more. The company that does Attack on Titans does Fairy Tail, and obviously Fairy Tail has got a long, drawn-out season. And so I'm kind of hoping that we're going to start seeing that more with Attack on Titan at some point. So we will see with Attack on Titan, but I am looking forward to the next part of the Attack on Titan series, so we're getting ready for that. So, other news about Toonami, which was revealed not too long ago, I think about maybe a week ago, is that Lupin the Third Part 5 will be joining the block again on June 15th. It is not known again at this time what time it will be at. Some people might think it's going to take over JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Others say maybe it's just another time slot. I don't know, and we won't know until comes on. So yeah, there's that. Also, getting into the biggest show on Toonami right now, Dragon Ball Super. They are currently running a contest. Them and Toei Animation. They ran an ad last week. About chances of winning prizes from Toei Animation and Bandai. And so you guys have a chance to win them. There's a lot of good prizes from what I've seen. I myself had entered into the contest, so hopefully maybe I'll win. I have won on Toonami before. I won a T-shirt a year before the T-shirt was released for stores. So it's possible to win these things, guys. It's possible. I don't think I've ever won a contest before until that. I was like, I won a contest! I did not get the Tom toy, though. I was kind of bummed about that. I wanted that Tom action figure. But yeah, I got the T-shirt, though. So yeah, they're doing that. I kind of liked how the ad was, not how they did the bumper. It was like, you grew up on, if you were with us, if you grew up on us, most likely you grew up on Dragon Ball Z. If you grew up on Dragon Ball Z watching us, like they started that whole thing. I was like, yes, I did. I did grow up watching Toonami with Dragon Ball Z. So yes, it was kind of pretty cool getting to see that last week. And again, you got a lot of cool prizes that you can possibly win. So I think it's a good thing to enter. So currently, as we all know, speaking of Dragon Ball Super, in the contest, there is something that Adult Swim posted out a couple of days ago regarding Dragon Ball Super, and that is that you can now, any of you that are watching this, or anybody that's watching Toonami, or hasn't watched Toonami, can watch every single episode of Dragon Ball Super to date that's been dubbed in English on AdultSwim.com streaming website for free. You may need a cable connection to get on it. There might be some of the episodes might be free. I myself haven't checked it out yet, but I believe, to my understanding, is the last 4 or 5 episodes are key locked, which means those need a cable connection. But my understanding is all the other episodes are free to watch without a cable connection. So it is still a pretty big win for people that have not been watching all of the dub yet. You can just binge watch it at your disposal. So it is a big plus for anybody who doesn't know about the Adult Swim website that has the streams of all their shows that they have on the TV broadcast there. So yes, there's that. So a lot of good things to Dragon Ball Super. Having said that, I would like to report, because I know a lot of people have been asking me about the possibility of there being 2 episodes for Dragon Ball Super coming up next week. For episode 109 and 1010, because they were aired as 2 episodes in Japan. We have not heard anything. I don't even think there was an advertisement for Dragon Ball Super's next week's episode. At least I haven't seen it. I seen Sword Art Online's, but I didn't see that one. Because we have not heard anything, and I said if they did not show an ad right after episode 108, that I was almost certain that it was going to only be 1 episode, and so I am sticking with that assumption that there will only be 1 episode airing next week, because we did not get a special bumper indicating otherwise. So unfortunately, people that were looking forward to having a double episode of Dragon Ball Super, as I myself would have been very, very open to it, because it's more Dragon Ball Super, of course. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. They're just going to air episode 109 this week and then 1010 next week. So, yeah. That seems like what's going to happen here, unfortunately. So, now I'm going to move on to the Crunchyroll thing, because there's a lot of understandings with the deal that Toonami has. So Toonami and Crunchyroll had a deal a couple of months ago. They're in a partnership, basically, after Funimation and Crunchyroll broke away from their partnership. Now, when Crunchyroll and Toonami partnered up, I thought we were going to start seeing shows right away pop onto Toonami, and so far up to this point we have not seen it. I do believe at some point we're going to start seeing more programming of shows from Crunchyroll on Toonami. I don't know when. I do expect season 2 of Mod to be coming back on the block at some point. However, it doesn't seem like Crunchyroll is waiting for Toonami to show them, which is what I thought and assumed they were going to do, is they were going to do something like they did with Attack on Titan, only for Crunchyroll, as they show it on Toonami first and then simuldub it. That's what I assumed they were going to do, because that makes sense for a partnership, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that. I do feel like there's going to be another show, though, that's going to be coming on Toonami very soon from Crunchyroll, a Crunchyroll licensed show, I should say, not a show that's necessarily on Crunchyroll stream, a show that's legitimately licensed to Crunchyroll that they're dubbing themselves. So no, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a Crunchyroll title. That's a 4K Media title, or whatever they're called now. Toonami New York. That's a mouthful. Okay, so anyways, you know what I'm saying? Not every title on Crunchyroll is actually licensed to them, and so that's going to be something that's going to be pretty interesting to see what is coming up on Crunchyroll that will be on the Toonami first, like the dubbing rights being aired there first, because I think they're going to have something coming up very soon for that. But we will have to find out, because right now they don't have that. But I do feel that there's going to be something coming up the pike very soon about it. But we will see, for sure. So the next thing we need to discuss is about the potential expansion of Toonami. Yes, I said expansion, because there is a possibility that Toonami will be expanding in the next year, maybe even sooner. I don't know. But from what I'm hearing, and again, take it with a grain of salt, I'm completely honest with you guys. But what I'm hearing is Toonami is going to be expanding in the next year. Next year or two. Can't guarantee it's going to be next year, but maybe in 2 years. I don't know. No promises. But I'm hearing that possibly Toonami could be expanding. And it's because of the fact that there's rumors going around, basically, and I'm going to say rumors and theories because we don't know all the facts. Okay? But what I'm understanding is that Adult Swim, not Toonami, Adult Swim, the channel, is losing a lot of rights. And I'm not talking about anime. I'm not talking about the anime titles that they have rights to, broadcasting rights to. I'm talking about shows that are premierly on their network. Robot Chicken, Family Guide, Bob's Burgers. All these shows that they typically show on the regular block. I'm hearing rumblings that they are losing the rights to a lot of these shows. They are definitely losing Family Guide in 2020. That much I know for sure. They are losing Family Guide, and you're probably wondering, well, how are they losing these rights? Well, a lot of these shows that they air on their network off of the Toonami hours are shows that were done by 20th Century Fox. And in case you haven't been living under a rock, 20th Century Fox has been sold to Disney officially as of March. And because of this, a lot of these shows, when their contract expires, they're not going to have TV deals with Adult Swim anymore, and they could be permanently pulled from the block. Family Guide is definitely being pulled. I can't speak about Bob's Burgers or some of these other shows that are on Adult Swim's network. But to my understanding, is these shows, their contracts are coming up. And when their contracts come up, Disney, now owning 20th Century Fox, is going to refuse to put them out anymore, to a competitive network, which is huge. That is a huge blow to a lot of these networks, especially Adult Swim, which has built their brand around these type of shows. And so there is a possibility because of this that Toonami could be expanding in the next year because of this. Again, I don't know for sure, and I'm not going to promise anything to you guys because, as I tell you guys, none of this stuff has been confirmed. It is all speculation. But, with high-stakes shows like Family Guide going off the network, and whatever other shows that our contracts are expiring soon too, for the network, could lead to Toonami possibly expanding further. I've been saying for a long time now that they really should go back to Monday through Fridays, and kind of do like maybe a 2-hour block on the weekdays. Now that could be a little difficult because they're going to have to get more than just anime. They really need to get more back to their core value and kind of mix it up. Maybe bring a Justice League, or maybe not Justice League, you know what I mean, like a superhero type show, which I honestly don't know why they don't bring any more superhero DC shows on Toonami anymore. Toonami is not just for anime, and you see all these other like movies that DC is doing. It's very surprising to me that they don't try to look into possibly having these things put out there. This is something that I think could work very well for an 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock Toonami block if they decide to go into that route. Maybe incorporate some classic animes on there. Um, I wouldn't say, totally, go back to the old format, by rerunning a lot of stuff. I mean, though I think rerunning a lot of stuff is still beneficial no matter what, because they're already basically doing that with Family Guy and all these other shows anyways. But I think Toonami, it would be a very beneficial thing if they started expanding, especially if they're losing a lot of key-rated shows that have been staples on their network as long as they have been. Yeah, it's one of those things, guys, where I think it could work. And I've been saying it for a while. I do believe it could work if they decide to go in that direction. Toonami expansion definitely is a high probability with these shows losing a lot of shows, with them losing a lot of their key rated shows, and it's not like they're gonna be able to get Simpsons or any of these other shows back because a lot of them are owned by 20th Century Fox. So 20th Century Fox is now a part of Disney, and Disney is not going to want to associate with Warner Brothers, Turner Broadcasting, which is what Cartoon Network and Adult Swim is kind of a part of. They're not going to want to associate their brand stuff with them. We've seen it with Star Wars Clone Wars. Star Wars Clone Wars was on the network, and then they were pulled from Toonami. And their final season of Clone Wars ended up being on Netflix, just so they could finish it up, because now it had been owned by Disney now. So Netflix had to finish it up, and Toonami wasn't able to finish it up. So there's a lot of things, guys, that could be coming up in the next couple of years for Toonami, that I think could definitely help the brand, and we'll see where that is. With a lot of these shows up right now, currently with Toonami, as he said, a lot of shows coming back, a lot of shows currently being aired right now. Naruto Shippuden is obviously a long rerun right now, because the dub episodes for the most part are already out already. Boruto is on the block, which in my opinion I still say is a mistake, because most people aren't watching Boruto because some people think the dub hasn't happened yet, even though the dub has been out for a while now. There's only like about 15 more episodes that haven't been dubbed yet, for Naruto Shippuden, which I've watched them all, by the way, all the ones that have dubbed, as well as the movie, that shitty Naruto last movie, worst movie ever. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say it's the worst movie ever, but it's a pretty dumb movie. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, guys. That's what's affecting Boruto, because that's why Boruto's like down now, because people don't realize that, though. That's why I say it was a mistake, because they can't just get Naruto, speed up Naruto Shippuden, and get it to the end, but they don't want to do that. We're also very soon reaching the end of Hunter x Hunter. It's been overall, with the exception of one certain dumb scene that they did in the Ant arc, has been a very good overall anime. And we'll see where that one ends. They finally got the other people, Leorio and frickin' Kurapika are back, which it's about frickin' time. They were gone for an entire arc. What is with Leorio? He's like all concerned for Gon, He's all concerned for Gon, right? But yet he wasn't there for him the entire last arc. Oh yeah, Leorio. You were so concerned for Gon so much, but yet you weren't there for the entire Ant arc. You know. So yeah. So I think about Mr. Dr. Leorio over here. So lineup's pretty solid so far. We don't really know that much about what the new event is going to be. I think it's going to be a tie 2 event, or it might just be another name. I think they should just do a lockdown scene. That would be kind of cool if they did that. With the Intruder 1 or 2 and 3 angle. I was hoping maybe they would do a lockdown 2, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that. But yeah, guys, overall, it's looking very promising for Toonami in the next couple of months. They're in better shape, I think, this year than they were in 2018 at the beginning of the year. We didn't have to worry about a goddamn April Fool's joke again. Can't gripe too much about April Fool's since that's why Toonami exists today, in terms of the second version of Toonami. But yeah, guys, it looks pretty good for Toonami right now. And that's really all about it for the news. Comment, rate, like this video, please subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. What do you think Toonami is going to be next year? Do you think there's going to be expansion with a lot of this new revelation of Adult Swim's programming being taken off their network? Or where do you think this goes? And what about these shows that are coming on? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Comment, rate this video, my videos, please subscribe, and share this video with other people. That would be great. I am out. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.